Hello everyone, in my third and final video for basics of essay writing, I am looking at the third section, how to apply the section of recognizing question type and the method of writing. Now there are three parts to this video, so I'll start off with the first part. For example, if you have a question, explain two reasons Temasek became important before the 19th century. If we recall step 1 from my first video, we have to know what question type it is. So with the keyword explain, it should be an explain question over here. Alright, and then in my second video, we took a look at the method over here. Alright, so in the method, it's peel, which P stands for point, E stands for example, the second E stands for explanation, and then of course the last one is an L, which is link. So in peel, you don't use all parts of peel, so the entire part of peel is only used for an explain. If you have a describe question, you only need to use P and E because you don't need to explain. So the answer to the first question over here is as follows. So I'll just annotate as we go along. So I've pre-made the answer, and if you take a look, the first sentence is always the point of the answer. Alright, so over here, Temasek became important before the 20th century due to its strategic location. This is my point. This is the first sentence of the answer. And why do I say strategic location? Because I'm giving a simple point to my answer. Now, if we go on, we have to have examples to support our point. So if you read on over here on your own, you'll find that these are all historical examples. Let me just get the marker out. These are all examples, and we typically use 2 to 3 examples over here. Now the next part of the answer actually shows the reason why Temasek became important, because being part of the trade routes, and the trade routes include all the India-China, Europe-China, Middle East to China trade routes. Temasek was a resting place. So why Temasek became important was because it helped to shorten the journey. So the explanation over here focuses on the word why. So the reason is it helped to shorten the journey for the traders. And then of course, the last sentence, therefore Temasek became important before the 20th century. This is typically the link, or rather we call it the closing sentence. So the answer don't stop there. You have to have two reasons. So we typically write the second reason in another paragraph. We can use a simple term called in addition. Temasek became important before the 19th century as it had advantages of the monsoon. So this part over here again is my point. Okay, a very brief point that I'm making, and again this is my first sentence of my answer. All right, and then we provide examples to the advantages of monsoon. So typically we explain we give an example of what monsoon is. So Temasek experienced monsoons at different times of the year. From June to September, it experienced the southwest monsoon, and this allowed to transport traders from countries west of the Indian Ocean to Temasek. From October to February, it experienced the northeast monsoon, and this allowed to transport the traders back home from Temasek or from China. So this part over here, you can see there are about 2 to 3 statements. We are bringing out the historical examples. So these examples help to support the point. All right, and the next sentence, this shows that Temasek was important because traders found the place convenient to trade while waiting for the wind patterns to change. So I am telling you the reason why it was important, because the explanation why, because it was a convenient place. So I'm providing a reason why Temasek was important. So the last sentence is typically your link, which is the last sentence of the paragraph. So in total, these two paragraphs from the first slide and the second slide can get you up to L3 5 marks. Now in my next slide, I'll be telling you how do we mark for essay questions in history using LOMs, and what do LOMs stand for. So the last section of this video shows you the LOMs part. LOM stands for levels of, forgot the response marking scheme. So actually they're supposed to be response marking. All right, R stands for response. So this is just a simple illustration of the different levels of marking. So at L1 is writing about the topic. L2 is basically identifying the factor, or simply put, the point, and then describing the factor, and this is where your examples come in, okay, in history. And then of course your explanation, which you need to have to score the highest marks. So M is marks over here. You see 1M means 1 mark, 2 to 3M means 2 to 3 marks, and 4 to 6M means 4 to 6 marks. So the question demands in the last part over here depends on the weightage each question gets. So typically there could be 4-mark question, there could be 5-mark question, or there could be a 6-mark question. Now for a 4-mark question, the marks will be broken down to 2 to 3 examples. We'll get 2 to 3 marks, and then the 4th mark will be the explanation, and then 5 marks, 2 to 3 examples will get 2 to 3 marks, and then the 4th and 5th mark will get the explanation. So you see that the level that expands is normally the explanation level. This normally tends to expand over here, all right, rather than the L2 level, because no matter how much of examples that you give, history essay questions that involve explanation will require you to explain. So it's not about writing many examples that you have. And then of course the last one, 6 marks, 1 to 3 marks will be for example. So we are a bit more generous in giving you marks for examples, while 4 to 6 marks would be for explanation.